Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all? I hope your preparation is according with your plan, right? So let me give a small assistance in relating to the indirect tax amendments. Before starting with the indirect tax amendments, first of all, let me give a small clarification. First thing, only these are amendments. And apart from the amendments, the concept in relating to the amendment, we will discuss elaborately. So that even you have a little bit knowledge about the amendment or not, I will give a full clarity about it. That is a point number one. And point number two concern, any new amendments, any new provisions which you come across in website or in YouTube channel or in any other source, please forget about all those amendments, all those updates. Reason, only the amendments which are given up to the date of 31st October 2023 is relevant for your examination. The students who are going to give an attempt in the month of May or June 2024, the amendments which are given up to the date of or effective from 31st October 2023, sorry, up to the date of, effective up to the date of 31st October 2023 is relevant for your examination. After this date, any amendment came into the picture, right? You might getting some knowledge about it, but please forget about all those amendments. Are you clear with this? So academic is different from the practical approach. So academically, the amendments which are given or effective up to the date of 31st October 2023 is relevant for your examination, right? Now for the inter students, these are the amendments which we are going to discuss, and we are going to spend approximately 4 to 5 hours of time. Within these 4 to 5 hours of time, we are going to get a knowledge about the provision, the old provision as well as the new provision. We will discuss both aspects, right? So out of which, first of all, we are going to start with the first topic, supply under GST. Sir, what about the first chapter, introduction to GST? Don't expect any amendments. Reason, just those are the basic concepts, not the law content, not the act content. That is only background of the story, background of the indirect taxes. Are you clear? Right, now the first chapter, supply under GST. In this chapter there is one and only the amendment, but which has given impact at various places in various provisions, right? So casinos, horse racing and online gaming excluded from the purview of the schedule 3, right? This is a single sentence which is given huge impact on taxability. Only the simple provision which is excluded from schedule 3, it amended section 7, section 12 of the time of supply, section 15, that is the value of supply. How it is affected, let me discuss. First of all, what is the provision? Casino, horse racing and online gaming excluded from the purview of the schedule 3. First of all, before to the amendment, earlier entry, actionable claims other than betting, gambling and lottery. That means earlier only the betting, gambling and lottery, only these three things were considered as a goods. Is it? Let me give a clear picture about it. Let me give it. Earlier, good definition comes. Under the good definition, good means every kind of movable property. Every kind of movable property includes actionable claims. So actionable claims we were considered it is as a good. And at the same time, if you refer schedule 3, under the schedule 3, actionable claims are excluded from the definition of the or from the purview of the GST. That is, as you know, that schedule 3 is a negative list. In negative list, actionable claims has been covered. Actionable claims other than betting, gambling, lottery. Here only the betting, gambling and lottery has been excluded, so that only these three elements became good. This is the earlier concept. Are you clear? So good means every kind of movable property include actionable claims. The same actionable claims has been excluded, or sorry, the same actionable claims has been included in schedule 3, but only these three elements has been excluded. What are those three things? Betting, gambling and lottery. So by reading the both provisions together, we can conclude only betting, gambling and lottery will become good. Schedule 3 is negative list, no? The matter which is covered under schedule 3 neither a supply of the good nor a supply of the service, right? So actionable claims neither a supply of the good nor a supply of the service. Suppose if you are presenting promissory note, bill of exchange, check, claims to the unsecured debt, claims to the unsecured debt neither a supply of the good nor a supply of the service. It is not a supply, no GST. But betting, gambling and lottery, these three things are excluded from schedule 3. Thereby these three things will become good. Are you clear? This is the earlier provision. Now what is an amended? Actionable claims other than specified actionable claims. That means these are the things which are excluded. Apart from the betting, gambling and lottery, casinos, horse racing, online money gaming, these three things also excluded from the purview of schedule 3. When it is excluded from schedule 3, it will be covered under the definition of good. Are you clear? So earlier only betting, gambling and lottery was treated as a good. Now casinos, horse racing, online money gaming also be considered as a good for the purpose of levy of GST. And these three things, 1, 2, 3, apart these three things, casinos, horse racing, online betting or gaming, these are excluded from the schedule 3. When these three things are excluded, totally finally 6 things became good. Are you clear with this? Right? So betting, gambling, lottery, casinos, horse racing, online betting and gambling, these things are excluded from schedule 3. When these three things are excluded from the negative list, there may be a chance these things will become either a good or service. Now in the definition of the good include actionable claim. So that finally these 6 things became good. Okay. So what are those things? Number 1, betting, gambling, lottery, casinos, horse racing and online gaming. All these things covered under the definition of the good. Right? All these things covered under the definition of the good. When these things are covered under the good, now the question it is, what is the time of supply? What is time of supply? And the next, what is the value of supply? What is the value of supply? Time of supply and value of supply. Now in the time of supply concern, the general provision, section 12 subsection 2 clause A, section 12 subsection 2, what is the time of supply in relating to the goods in general or normal situations? In general or normal situation, what is the time of supply? Date of issue of invoice, and the second one, last date for issue of invoice. Last date for issue of invoice, whichever is earlier. Is it? Whichever is earlier is the time of supply. Are you clear? So time of supply, determination of time of supply in general or normal situations, date of issue of invoice or last date for issue of the invoice, whichever is earlier, that is the time of supply. No, right? Now what is the time of supply for these goods? Actually we have to apply the same provision. Is it? But the new amendment in 12 subsection 2, actually in relating to the goods, advance money is not the time of supply. What is that? the date of advance money given is not the time of supply. Reason, the time of supply always depend upon the two factors. What are those two things? Date of issue of invoice, last date for issue of the invoice. What's the first one? Date of issue of invoice, and the second one, last date for issue of invoice. Whichever is earlier, that is the time of supply. Clear? But now with this amendment, that is by covering casinos, horse racing, online gaming as a good, the time of supply also has been amended. Now the time of supply in relating to the actionable claims. Time of supply for actionable claims. Actionable claims. The amount or the date on which amount, that is, we can say it is as a money or money's worth or digital or virtual asset, digital or virtual asset has been deposited. Or paid. The date on which money or money's worth or digital or virtual asset is. Sir, money concern, as you know, cash, okay, or electronic remittances, Google Pay, Phone Pay, etc. Money's worth concern, it might be any asset. Then what is the meaning of the virtual asset? Suppose any bitcoins or any denominated bonds, coupons has been deposited. It is called virtual asset. Now the date on which such amount is deposited, that could be the time of supply. Suppose taking an example in Dream 11. In Dream 11, money deposited or paid. Let us assume 10,000 rupees. What is the time of supply? Actually, money deposited for any betting, gambling, lottery, casinos, horse racing, all these things will be treated as a actionable claims. Those are goods, not the services. Those are goods. When you are considering these are goods, what is the time of supply? Actually, you have to refer date of issue of the invoice, last date for issue of the invoice. Is it? But for these things, you should not refer this provision. You have to refer the date on which money or money's worth or virtual asset has been deposited. Are you clear? Suppose such money has been deposited on 10th April 2024. Then automatically time of supply will be 10 April 2024. Are you clear? And one more thing, the deposited amount might be used in subsequent period. Might be such amount has been used, partly amount on 20th May and part amount on 10th June, etc. But all those things are irrelevant. When you are using such amount is irrelevant. You have to remember when such amount has been paid or payable. When such amount is paid or payable, whether it may be a money or money's worth or virtual asset, the date on which you paid or payable, that could be the time of supply. Are you clear with this? This is the first situation where an advance money in relating to the good became taxable. Actually, the time of supply will be date of issue of invoice or last date for issue of the invoice. Is it clear? In relating to the goods, the time of supply we have to determine like this. But now, only in relating to the betting, gambling and lottery tickets, casinos, horse racing and online gaming, the time of supply will be the date on which money or money's worth or digital virtual asset has been deposited. Are you clear? So actually we are in the chapter of the supply, right? In the supply chapter, we covered these things as a good, and by referring to the time of supply, we determine what is the time of supply. And now by referring to the value of supply, we are going to decide, we are going to discuss what is the amount of the value of supply or what is the amount on which we are liable for payment of GST. For this purpose, new rule 31B and 31C has been introduced. Are you clear? 31A concern, as you know that the value of supply which is determined in relating to the vouchers or coupons, right? Now 31B and 31C, new provision has been determined, new provision has been inserted to determine the value of supply in relating to the horse racing, online gaming and casinos. So what is the rule 31B? Now, rule 31B. Value of supply in case of determination of value of supply in case of gaming, online gaming or even money gaming also. Money gaming concern, if you deposited some amount, after some time by lucky or chance you will get huge amount of the money. So value of supply in case of gaming, online gaming or money gaming, what is the value of supply? Value of supply will be money or money's worth or any virtual digital assets, any virtual digital assets deposited with supplier. Money or money's worth virtual digital assets deposited with the supplier. And one more thing you have to remember, such amount might be deposited by the recipient or even by the third party. Such amount might be deposited by the recipient or third party. That amount will become value of supply. So to understand the concept, value of supply in case of gaming, online gaming, money gaming, value of supply will be money or money's worth or virtual digital assets deposited with the supplier. Such amount will become value of supply. Suppose taking an example for online gaming purpose. For online gaming purpose, suppose online Free Fire or Ludo, right? For any other games purpose, suppose take an example, we deposited money worth of 1 lakh on 10th April 2024. On 10th April 2024. Now, what is the value of supply? What is the value of supply? The amount which is deposited 1 lakh, value of supply equal to 1 lakh, right? What is the time of supply? The amount deposited, the day on which such amount has been deposited, that could be the time of supply, right? Value of supply will be 1 lakh and time of supply will be 10/4/2024. Are you clear with this? Any doubt? Any doubt? Right? Now, I have a doubt. Suppose 1 lakh rupee has been deposited and paid GST, and GST rate it is at the rate of 28%. The government don't want to encourage this type of the activities, so that the rate it is covered under the highest slab rate, that is 28%. Suppose this 1 lakh rupee we won 5 lakhs. We won 5 lakhs, and again such 5 lakhs money used for further gaming purpose. Whether it will be treated as a supply. Whether it is treated as a supply. Suppose 1 lakh rupee money has been deposited. That is the value of supply on which we are liable for payment of the GST at the rate of 28%. No doubt. So the 1 lakh rupee became 5 lakhs, right? And again such 5 lakh rupees we are using for further gaming purpose. Please remember, it is not a supply, no value of supply, no time of supply, and no GST on it. So simply you have to remember, whatever the amount deposited, only such amount will be the value of supply. The amount which is deposited, only to that extent it will become value of supply, on which we have to pay GST at the rate of 28%. Are you clear? So this is the content of the rule 31B. This is the content of the rule 31B. And next, rule 31C. Determination of value of supply. Determination of value of supply in case of casinos, right? Determination of value of supply in case of the casinos. Value of supply will be, the value of supply will be money or money's worth or virtual digital assets deposited to purchase coins or points or any other, what is called, coins, points, tokens or chips, right? So any money or money's worth virtual digital assets deposited to purchase coins, points, tokens or chips, that could be the value of supply. In casino, no need to deposit money as it is. First of all, you have to purchase few coupons or tokens or chips. With that chips you have to play the game, right? So for the purpose of purchasing of those chips, coins or points or tokens, whatever the amount you deposited, that amount will be the value of supply. That amount will be the value of supply. Suppose the same example like this, if you deposited 1 lakh rupee for the purpose of purchasing of the chips, 1 lakh rupee will be the value of supply. Suppose if you are winning continuously and such amount became 5 lakhs, and again such 5 lakhs we are using for purchasing of the further tokens, chips, coupons, etc. What will happen? If you are purchasing fresh chips or fresh coupons, that will become supply. But the chips has been increased. Suppose, let me say, suppose deposited money 10 lakhs. How much deposited? 10 lakhs. Value of supply will be 10 lakhs. Suppose the chips has been allotted 10,000. How many? 10,000. Now this 10,000 chips became 50,000. Right? Now it is not a supply. And again 5,000 chips used for further games or further casino. It is not a supply. It is not a supply. And one more thing, 50,000 chips redeemed or refund claimed. Redeem or refund claimed. It should not be reduced from value of supply, right? Sir, while depositing 10,000, while purchasing of the 10,000 chips, it is a supply, no? Already I paid GST on it. Now I am withdrawing 50,000 chips so that I can reduce. Can I adjust this amount? No way. Suppose in the same thing here, 1 lakh rupee deposited for online gaming, and when you are withdrawing 5 lakhs, at the time of the withdrawal, should not be adjusted. It should not be adjusted against value of supply. Please note the point. Should not be adjusted against the value of supply. The same concept here also, where the 50,000 chips has been redeemed or refunded, refund claimed. It is not the value of supply at the time of the redemption. No need to pay GST. But the assessee may argue like this, sir, while purchasing of the chips, it is a supply. Now I am returning those chips. That is nothing but it is a sale of chips. No, please adjust against the original supply. There is no such type of the concept, right? Once you deposited, it is a supply. At the time of the refund or redemption, it should not be adjusted against the value of supply by issue of the debit note or credit note, etc. Are you clear with this? So that in a single example, we covered with the supply, time of supply and value of supply. First of all, let me revise the concept. Let me revise. The good definition has been amended. Earlier, every kind of movable property includes actionable claims. Actionable claims concern only betting, gambling and lottery. Only these things were treated as the goods. Now, again three things has been added. Those three things are casinos, horse racing, online betting and gambling. Now, the 6 elements has been excluded from the definition of the, from the purview of the schedule 3. 6 things has been excluded from the purview of schedule 3. Those 6 things are betting, gambling, lottery, casino, horse racing, online betting and gaming, etc. Right? No etc. Only these 6 things, right? So these 6 things, even though those are actionable claims, those are excluded from schedule 3 so that it will be treated as a good. When you treated it as a good, okay, on which we are liable for payment of GST. What is the rate of GST? 28%. Then what is the time of supply and what is the value of supply? The time of supply concern the date on which such money or money's worth or digital virtual asset has been deposited or paid, right? And next, and what is the value of supply? For that purpose, Rule 31B, Rule 31C has been inserted. By referring to Rule 31B, value of supply in case of gaming, online gaming, money gaming, etc. Value of supply will be money or money's worth or virtual digital asset deposited with the supplier. That is the person who running such online gaming or online money gaming, and the day on which such money has been deposited. The date will be the time of supply, and whatever the amount has been deposited by the recipient, or third party, the deposited amount will become value of supply, right? And any amount withdrawn or adjusted, it won't be adjusted against the value of supply. And again, the same amount has been used for further gaming purpose, it won't be treated as a value of supply. And again, no need to pay any GST on it, only at the time of the deposit, right? Even in the casino also, we purchased 10,000 chips and 10,000 chips became 50,000. And again, with that 50,000 chips, we are going for further gaming purpose. For further gaming purpose, it won't be treated as a supply. If you are purchasing fresh chips, tokens, coupons, etc., then only it will be treated as a supply. Are you clear? So that with a small amendment, we discussed the definition of the good and the rate of GST and the time of supply, and the next one it is value of supply. Are you clear? Right? Please pause the video and go through once. And the supplier definition also has been amended. Please remember, from the examination point of view, it is very important, very important. The definition of supplier has been amended to incorporate a proviso which provides that. Actually, supplier means the person who is supplying the good or service. Even the agent of the supplier also be a supplier. This was the earlier provision, right? Now the new definition concern a person who organizes or arranges directly or indirectly supply of the specified actionable claims. The person who arrange or organizes a specified actionable claims, he is also be a supplier. And you are going to get the direct question in your examination, define the supplier, right? So you have to present all these things. A person who organizes or arranges directly or indirectly supply of specified actionable claims. Include a person who owns, operates or manages digital or electronic platform for such supply shall be deemed to be the supplier of actionable claim. Suppose Ludo game is there. Now the person who is the owner of the Ludo game just is maintaining a website or an app, right? He is also be a supplier. Whether such actionable claims are specified by him or through him, and whether consideration in money or money's worth or including virtual digital assets for supply of which such actionable claims is paid or conveyed to him or through him or placed at his disposal in any manner. That means whether the app person he is conducting the game directly by himself or through his agent or any other manner, he will be treated as a supplier. That's it. He will be treated as a supplier. He is liable for payment of GST at the rate of 28%. Are you clear with this? And all the provisions of CGS tax shall apply to the such supplier of specified actionable claims as if he is the supplier liable to pay the tax in relation to the supply of such actionable claims. The provisions which are applicable to the normal registered person, the same provisions will be applicable to the person who is supplying such actionable claims. Are you clear? Please pause the video and go through once, and if it is possible, please note down this content, right? First one, this is the screenshot number 1. Screenshot number 2. Okay. Screenshot number 3. And rule 31B. Is it okay? Okay, done. And the next one, 31C. Right? Is it clear? Done. Please go through once. And the next clarification about the supply of the food or beverages at cinema hall, taxable as the restaurant services, right? So supply of the food or beverages at the cinema hall. What is the rate of GST and what is the classification of it? Suppose, taking an example. Yeah. So this is the movie screen. Right. Now, while booking the movie ticket, suppose taking an example, movie ticket 200 rupees, and apart from that, there may be a charge. As part of the movie ticket, you may purchase popcorn, right, and cool drink. The worth of popcorn and cool drink, let us assume 300. Totally 500 rupees. Now, what is the rate of GST on it? What is the rate of GST? Suppose the movie ticket concern, it is an entertainment service. Entertainment service is taxable at the rate of 18%. And supply of the food or beverages, those are taxable at the rate of the 5%. Right? Now, what is the nature of supply? What is the nature of supply? For that purpose, movie plus food and beverages divided into two parts. Food and beverages are supplied along with the movie ticket. When food and beverages are supplied along with the movie ticket, in such a situation, it will be treated as a composite supply. It shall be treated as a composite supply, like as a movie ticket. Reason, when you are going to a movie theater, the main agenda, the main intention is to watch movie. Is it right now? Not to get the food or any snacks, etc. Suppose if you want to get food or snacks, actually we'll go and visit the restaurant, right? So when you are watching movie, and apart from the getting of movie ticket, that is for the purpose of watching of the movie, if you are getting movie ticket along with the food, in such a situation, it will be treated as a, it will be classified as a movie ticket only. So that entire value taxable at the rate of 80%, taxable at the rate of 18%. And the second situation, where the food and beverages are sold at the restaurant, at the cinema theater, he is running an independent stall. That is, there is such services are not clubbed with the movie ticket services, and it is a discretion power of the a person who watching movie, whether he may get the food or may not. It won't be the matter. So that there is no any obligation There is no any obligation to purchase the food and beverages at the movie theater. So that here the food and beverages are sold independently. That is, there is no obligation to purchase these food and beverages. Suppose while watching of the movie, if there is a horror movie, right, if you want to eat any popcorn or cool drink or any other snacks, right, at the discretion of you may purchase. In such a situation, it is taxable at the rate of 5%. So even the food and beverages supplied independently at the movie theater, it is taxable at the rate of the 5%. Suppose along with the movie ticket, any food and beverages are supplied, it will be treated as a composite supply. Thereby, whatever the rate of GST applicable to the food and beverages, it will be applied on total value of the supply, right? So this is the clarification, new clarification. The third element, see here, supply of the food or beverages. The cinema operator may run these restaurants and eating stalls, kiosks, counters, restaurants themselves, or they may give it on contract to third party. Two situations. First one, it is hereby clarified that supply of the food or beverages in a cinema hall is taxable at the restaurant services as long the food and beverages are supplied by way of the part of service and supplied independent of the cinema exhibition service. That means supply of the food and beverages nowhere mixed with the cinema exhibition services. In such a situation, whatever the snacks you are getting at the movie theater, it will be taxable as a restaurant services and taxable at the rate of 5%. Where the sale of cinema ticket and supply of the food and beverages are clubbed together and such bundled supply satisfy the test of the composite supply, then entire supply will attract the GST at the rate applicable to the service of exhibition of movie or cinema, right? That is, it is taxable at the rate of 5%. Are you clear with this? Right? And the next one, fourth one, clarification of taxability of the shares, right? Third one is clear now. So when we are getting food or beverages, supplied along with the movie ticket, so that here it is treated as a single supply consists two or more supplies. In such a situation, we have to ensure whether it is a composite supply or mixed supply. So here it is a composite supply. In such a situation, we have to identify which one is the predominant nature. That is a principal supply. The principal supply will become movie ticket, so that whatever the rate applicable to the movie ticket, the same rate will be applicable on entire value of the ticket, right? Suppose where the food and beverages are supplying at the movie theater independently, that means there is no obligation, there is no compulsion to purchase food and beverages. In such a situation, whatever the food and beverages supplied at the movie theater, it is taxable like as restaurant services. That is taxable at the rate of 5%. Are you clear? Next, clarification on taxability of shares held in a subsidiary company by the holding company. Now the principal supply. Actually, where a holding company holding shares in subsidiary company, can you say whether there will be any supply of the service? Suppose this is the holding company holding shares in subsidiary. When holding company holding more than half of voting rights, that is greater than 50% of voting rights, then we can identify the holding and subsidiary relationship in the holding company balance sheet and subsidiary company balance sheet. In the holding company balance sheet, we can identify it is as a investment in subsidiary, and in subsidiary company it will be represented as a share capital, right? Now, can you say it is as a supply of the service? Can you say it is as a supply of the service? No. The same clarification has been given. The issue which arose for consideration is whether the holding of shares in a subsidiary company by the holding company will be treated as a supply of the service and whether the same will attract GST or not. It cannot be said that service is being provided by the holding company to the subsidiary company solely on the basis of that there is a specific accounting code entry 997171 in the scheme of classification of service. Array yaar, in the classification of the service, different type of the services are there, right? Different type of the services are there, and 6 digits coding system has been assigned. Only because of that can you say there is a service in between holding and subsidiary? No. Holding company might exercising control over the subsidiary, being holding more than half of the voting right. Only because of that, you should not say that holding company is a supplier and subsidiary company is a recipient. Suppose if it is as, what could be the nature of service and what is the value of supply? And first of all, what type of the service you are expecting? Might be the name given here like as the service provided by the holding company, holding securities. Holding of securities itself, can you say it is as a service? No way. And one more thing, you know that securities, it is excluded from the definition of the good and service. Holding of shares or securities, holding of shares or securities excluded from the definition of the good and service. So only because of the reason holding company holding shares in the subsidiary, right, it is not a service. Are you clear with this? Right, these are the 4 clarifications or notifications given by the department and which are applicable for your examination, right? So therefore the activity of holding of shares subsidiary company by the holding company per se, that is directly, cannot be treated as a supply of the service by the holding company to the said subsidiary company, and it cannot be taxed under GST. Right, done. So that 4 amendments we covered in the first chapter, supply under GST. Are you clear?